Life's what we make it. So let's make it rock. Hit it. Dun, dun. No, just kidding. All right, let's roll.
This is the Sports Timeout Podcast with Jensen Nadu, Tony Karanko, and your host, Wes Underwood.
And we welcome you to the Sports Timeout Podcast brought to you by Ghetto Tacos in Web City. If you're in the mood for burritos at 10% off today, or you want to get in there and try their award-winning dishes, then head on in or call ahead today and get some delicious food at a great price. And oh yeah, some phenomenal service at that, for sure. Those ladies back there, Marcus and whoever else is back there in the kitchen that comes off the food trucks, you guys do a phenomenal job, and we appreciate it. We love it. Located at 536 Northeast Street in Webb City, Missouri. Drive-thru is available. Get in, check out their new Gringo Taco and other things that they've got on their menu that are quite delectable. But while you're at it, go check out Robert's Integrative Dentistry in Joplin. If you're looking to make the season brighter this spring, get into Robert's Integrative Dentistry today and get that brighter, straighter smile. And yeah, or just look fresh for the rest of the summer, the spring, whatever. Get in there twice a year, right? Something like that. But be sure to schedule your appointment today at 417-622-0404. They also offer Invisalign, so get on in and check that out. They got some good deals there and a payment plan option, so that's positive. And last but not least, don't forget to check out TeeTime in Web City. Be sure to reserve your spot to play some golf, whether you're searching for the perfect weekend activity or you just want to go midweek and do what we did this week. But got out there with my kiddo and my brother, and we played some golf. And on top of that, it was beautiful. And this weekend's supposed to be even better. So get out there tonight, have a date night with your significant other, take your kids, whatever you need to do. Big news. They take cash now. Fantastic news. They got a new menu coming. They got some stuff in the back. Fish and chips are now on the menu. So that's another good one. Yeah. Lots of other exciting things happening at TeeTime. Be patient with them. Give them some time as they're adjusting to the new stuff. But big thing for me, cash. I always went in with cash and always forgot that they didn't take it. And now they do. So that's huge. And then, yeah. So, yeah, get in, book it. Spring break officially over this weekend. Sad, sad. But get in there, get some pickleball, get some golf. Cornholes open up. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. So get on into TeeTime. But this week, we'll go ahead and talk NFL to begin. And that's going to be brought to you by Black Eagle Apparel. They do custom apparel, jerseys for any team, any sport at the best prices. They are the official merch provider of the Sports Timeout podcast and the Joplin Outlaws. Go check out their website, blackeagleapparel.us, and be sure to subscribe to their email list and get 25% off. And I think, yeah, our code's still up there. Let's get in here real quick and let's do video effects here. Boom, boom, boom. Virtual backgrounds and voila. Move over. Yep. Use this code right here, STOPC15, to get 15% off your next purchase if you've already subscribed to their email list. So yeah, get on in. Get on in. Get on in. Use this code right here. Right here. And we're super excited to partner with them and to continue our partnership. Love having Black Eagle Apparel. Oh, all these guys, TeeTime, Ghetto Taco, Black Eagle, and Robert's Integrative Dentistry. Without them, we would not be here. And we appreciate it. And they help keep us running, and they help us do what we need to do. And we support them tremendously. And we do everything we can to help those partnerships grow. So, but we're going to move on into the bum NFL. Yes. Yes, we will. I didn't know if I wanted to do this one, but Vikings are going to bring back Carson Wentz. That's going to be our first topic. Found out yesterday they're going to add QB depth, and well, I honestly didn't even remember that Carson Wentz was out there. I totally thought that he had retired once he left the Chiefs, but Carson Wentz, Minnesota Vikings, they agreed to terms with the quarterback. I wonder if they're kind of doing this to make up for the Sam Darnold and hey guys, we got this guy. We're going to bring him back. He was pretty effective in our system too. If you guys remember him, we aren't allowed to go get Sam Darnold now, and well, okay, that's the thing. Like, excuse me, sorry, pardon me. Carson Wentz on a 1 year deal Thursday. Going to add that depth to the position. Kyler Murray is going to be a newcomer. JJ McCarthy's still there. Max Brosmer. And now Kevin O'Connell, the coach, is just going to be looking for this replacement. And what's going to happen? I guess they're going to go JJ McCarthy and Wentz will be in the number 2 spot. But I think by the middle of this season, even earlier, I think we see Carson Wentz, unless they draft someone pretty good or other things happen. I just don't foresee Carson Wentz not making it out there as a starter. Even maybe after the preseason, we'll see how his preseason goes. But right now, he's the number 2. McCarthy's the number 1, and Brosmer will be the backup number 3. And they're saying that they're going to give Wentz the benefit of the doubt and give Brosmer a chance over him, but I don't know. I end up seeing Carson Wentz being in the starting lineup here, so on the starting squad, which takes us over to Kansas City, another team that's made some pretty outstanding moves. You release Jawan Taylor, you get Gilman, you get Tonga, you get Walker. You bring back Mike Caliendo on the 14th. On the 16th, DeMarcado, I believe is how you pronounce that. I gotta get the name. I gotta know how. But you get all these guys in, and you take the one big liability out. They also released Mike Dana back in February. They brought in Andre Curtis as a defensive backs and safety coach. They signed Tanner McAllister to a reserve future contract. He's a cornerback, so they'll see how he does. And they also, in late January, brought back Jason Brownlee and Carter. And then you go get Fields this week. And I think Fields is a solid signing for a backup quarterback. I think that he is the caliber of a quarterback the Chiefs need. He can scramble, he can move, and I think under Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy, it's going to be beautiful. And I do believe that the Chiefs were trying to make a move to get him last year, but they weren't able to because, well, I'm with all the other fans. Matt Nagy was in town, and I just believe that nobody wanted to be with Matt Nagy. And once Mahomes went down, we kind of knew that Chiefs were in trouble. And then Minshew comes in, does his thing, he goes down. We knew the Chiefs were really in trouble. And then they just had their practice squad guys. So it was a really rough rest of the season for the Kansas City Chiefs. And we all know that when we saw that. But I'm just excited now that we've got a QB2. They'll definitely bring some of those other guys back for minicamp, obviously. I think Justin Fields stays at the number 2 spot and solidifies that. I believe that the Chiefs probably end up going down maybe one running back or a wide receiver, maybe dropping a corner, who knows, and keep some guys on the practice squad, obviously. And I believe that they end up carrying 3 rostered quarterbacks into the season because if Mahomes doesn't start, you're going to have 2 guaranteed. You can't do what we did last year where it ended up being possible reliability on Travis Kelce throwing that ball down the field as the emergency quarterback. And then you got to make sure that Ariza comes back and is your punter. You got to make sure that Harrison Butker's healthy this year. If not, bring someone into camp and get that taken care of because watching that struggle last year, not knowing if he's going to hit one, it really, really stunk for the Chiefs. And so all around, this team's going to get better this offseason. They've got some first-round picks, and they got some good picks at that. I think this is a team that you're gonna see be a possible Super Bowl contender again next year. We'll revisit that after week 4 and give the first half of the season its thing and just review there. But right now, I'm gonna say the Chiefs are favorites again to make the playoffs. Are they Super Bowl favorites? Not 100% sure. We'll see once Patrick Mahomes makes it into minicamp and just recovery process and whatnot. But that's my take on that for sure. All right, next up, we move on into the World Baseball Classic, and we'll stay here for a little bit as we end up talking Royals on this too. And pretty exciting to see everything that came out of the World Baseball Classic. And this is where I'm going to tie the Royals in. Congratulations to Venezuela on your first one. Good job. You guys did it. You earned it. Salvador Perez, congratulations. You finally got it. And Michael Garcia, you get one. Love it. Love it as a Royals fan. Love being able to be a part of that and be able to watch it and see it and just see the smiles. And we know that Salvi loves winning a championship, and we're hoping as Royals fans, this is where we come in, that carries over to this year. It was really awesome to see that Jack Caglione for Italy was able to maintain above a 280 on his batting average. Vinny Pasquantino kind of came up empty, but in big moments came up big. I mean, he had 3 home runs in that one game that helped Italy move on. Um, and then you have moments from Bobby Witt Jr. flashing his glove out there, getting some doubles, running and stealing bases, and just doing what he needed to do. It's great to see that those two are healthy and that they're able to produce when they need to, which is something big we missed last season towards the end of the year. And then you get Michael Garcia, who looks great. What was Michael Garcia? I'm going to look that up here. Bobby Witt Jr. was batting 250 after that game. Unfortunately, he went 0 for 3 in that one, but did get a run in the World Baseball Classic finale. Oh, we got Michael Garcia. He went 0 for 3 as well, but he was batting 385 in the World Baseball Classic. So that was beautiful to see, and I'm hoping that that carries over to the season. Gosh, Perez was at 182, but we know what Perez is coming back for. He's coming back for leadership. He's going to be the catcher or the first baseman. We know that there's a lot going on there. I think he's staying around to mentor Carter. I really do. And then, where is he? I think that's it for the Royals on those two teams. But to see all that and just bring it in, watching our captain do the thing, we know that the next captain's probably going to end up being Bobby Witt Jr. We saw the Royals re-sign Vinny Pasquantino to that 2-year deal. So this team, I mean, even getting to watch Lorenzen do some things here and there, it was exciting to see in the World Baseball Classic. And to see that many Royals in the World Baseball Classic. And another positive is the Royals were still contending with other teams throughout the league in spring training while their top guys were gone. That's really exciting to see, and that's really exciting for this team, and that adds a lot to what this team is capable of this year. We'll see how it all turns up, and we'll see what ends up happening, but super excited about that. And also another thing that comes from the World Baseball Classic, and we'll piggyback onto that now, the success may lead to a midseason tournament, and that's according to the MLB. They set the attendance and broadcast viewer records for the World Baseball Classic. It's going to return in 29 and 30, and at some point in the future could be moved to the midseason when the clubs would be less likely to restrict the players. Since the WBC inception in 2006, which this is the 20th season for it, it's been awesome to watch. It has been played during spring training. Tournament rules include pitch count restrictions, and teams can demand tougher limits to deny or limit players' participation. So, Rob Manfred had this to say. Obviously, we have commitments to Fox in terms of the All-Star game in the middle of the season through 28. The baseball commissioner, Rob Manfred, also added that as the game continues to evolve, we have talked about midseason tournaments in general. And certainly if we decide to get a serious offer on this about a midseason tournament, it would be an ideal opportunity. And the WBC this year averaged over 1 million fans, over 47 games, 24% increase over the previous high of 1.3 million. They went to 1.6 million, so that's pretty good. Um, in 2006, it drew 39 games. It drew 740,000. So a long, long, long journey it's been, but they were able to do it this year. And I think social media has helped. I think that players being more out in the community has helped. And it's just been awesome to see. And I would not be opposed to this as long as you make it more centrally located for people to come to, kind of like the College World Series going to Wichita and all that, or Omaha, whatever it is. I think that would be a great idea to just bring it into the Central Plains, bring it into maybe even Kansas City or a place like Chicago or somewhere in Kansas in general. Just bring it to the heart of America and allow people from all over the world to travel and come and see what the Midwest is all about. Not only that, and be able to do what they've been doing. So I really enjoy that. I really like that idea. I think it would be awesome to see. And, well, moving on, we'll move into the NCAA tournament on the men's side. And wow, some upsets yesterday. We saw High Point edge out number 5 Wisconsin. We saw Arkansas battle back and forth with Hawaii, but then Arkansas pulled away big. Texas and BYU in the first was really close, but ended up being great to see at the end. Duke and TCU moved on. I picked TCU over Ohio State. I didn't call that an upset at all. And then obviously Duke rolled past Siena. Siena gave them a little bit of a run for their money, but Duke ended up coming back and winning that there. Louisville, South Florida was fun. Louisville pulled that out barely as well. And then Michigan State just dominated North Dakota State. I knew Michigan State would win that one. I didn't put any contest to that at all. So a lot more games going on tonight. The first round will be over, and then we move into the round of 32. And it's going to be interesting. We saw some other games too. The first 4 were fun. Texas pulled out over North Carolina State. That was a really close game. Miami, Ohio was fun over SMU. Howard and UMBC was fun. And then Prairie View over Lehigh. I don't know how they pronounce that. But Vanderbilt, Nebraska, they pulled through. Nebraska just rolled on through. Vanderbilt, they had a close game, but ended up pulling out by 10. That was pretty good for them. But day 2 today, got a lot of good games. Mizzou tonight. Gonzaga. Nope, not tonight. Not Gonzaga. Purdue and Queens tonight. Just a lot of games. A lot of games. Be sure to look at your bracket. I think I'm sitting decently currently. Got a couple of those upsets, but hey. So, on that note, we will go ahead and move into the Footy Forum. And before we get into that, we'll go ahead and read through our sponsors. And we got some fun stuff this week. Footy Forum, and that's brought to you by the Corner Kick in Neosho. Be sure to stop by the Corner Kick located at 1000C West Harmony Street, Neosho, Missouri. They have the largest soccer store in southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas, southeastern Kansas, and northeastern Oklahoma. Be sure to check them out Tuesday through Sunday for your football needs. And also brought to you by the Fair Acres Y in Carthage. If you're looking for a place for your birthday this year, schedule yours today and check out their 5,000 square foot youth activity center. Schedule yours today and get in there. They got bounce houses, they got a playground, and so much more. So much more. They are also hosting free meals for kids 18 and under, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5:30 p.m. at the Youth Activity Center at 400 South Maple in Carthage. Enjoy after-school hangouts, play basketball, volleyball, esports, art, and other activities. Get on in there and see Jonathan and his crew. And first up, we go ahead and talk current and I got a chance to catch up with current rookie Amelia um, White. So check it out. And we bring in 5'3" forward from Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's a lot to say in one breath there. She is a former Indiana Gatorade Player of the Year. She is also a former Big Ten All Freshman honoree in 2022 and then All Big Ten second team selection in 2025. She's played for the U.S. women's national team. She's played for the Indy 11, is now on the Kansas City Current. We bring in Amelia White. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just feeling good coming off a win from this weekend, which is really exciting. From a comeback too, which is great. Had a good session today and good weather, so doing well.
That's awesome. I'm glad this warmer weather's coming in for you guys. I know that at CPKC it's going to be horrible this summer, but enjoy this spring weather while you guys have it.
Hmm.
All right. So we mentioned in that opening about being the Big Ten All Freshman honoree in 22 and then Big Ten All Second Team selection in 2025. Looking back at that, how did the physical nature of the conference prepare you for the NWSL?
I think it really helped. I mean, obviously I haven't gotten to test it actually on the NWSL stage yet in a debut or game, but I
Yeah.
think just from in trainings, it's been really helpful to kind of stand my ground in different positions that I'm being placed in, whether that's in the midfield where I gotta be really aware of your surroundings and um, kind of be prepared to be kind of hit in every direction. So I think it's been a lot of help and definitely just the culture too, specifically at Penn State where it's similar in ways where everything's pretty quick and there's high counter press and lots of people coming at you. So I think it really helped prepare me for this environment, but it's obviously just an environment that's kind of hard to get used to because it's so physically demanding and it's it's just such a high standard.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. And so you kind of also mentioned that first few seasons at Penn State, you mentioned it in an interview earlier in your career, that tested your belief in yourself. What shifted mentally or technically to allow you to have the breakout senior season that you had, where you kind of pretty much doubled your previous single season career high in goals?
Yeah, I think my senior season was just kind of a combination of everything that I had learned from my freshman, my sophomore and junior year and all the work that I had put in. Um, there was so many days where I'd be in a racquetball court just getting extra touches, doing everything I could. And I think the beginning of my college career, I kind of it was hard for me to handle like the different adversities that I was facing, and then it kind of made me lose a little bit of the love in the game that I that's why I was playing originally. And so I think my once I got to like my junior year and senior season, I kind of just like this is something I love to do. I'm just gonna have fun. And so I think that big mentality shift really just changed the way that I showed up on the field. And then with having put in all the work that I was putting in the previous years and extra reps and doing all the work over the summer to just prepare. I think a combination of just the mentality and showing up prepared and feeling um, just super capable and trusting the training that I had put in. I think that really is what kind of led to my senior season.
Okay, fair enough. Well said. Well said. So, on top of that, you become one of the first Nittany Lions to go to sign with an NWSL club as a free agent following the discontinuation of the NWSL draft. What was that process like for you and for your agent and being able to choose Kansas City as the right fit as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of like you said, like not having the draft is still pretty new, and I think it's something everyone's still adjusting to. So I think at first it was kind of like, okay, well, what's this process gonna be like? There's only been 1 year really where it hadn't been a draft, and so I think that was a little kind of scary at the beginning, but kind of ended season and just thinking, okay, was that good enough to get some interest or just different things? And um, me and my agent, we just talked a lot and the things that I wanted from a place, and even with my coach at Penn State of what kind of place I'm looking for. And I had always just made it a point that I want to go somewhere where I can develop. I want to continue to develop and learn.
For sure.
And when I got a call that there was interest from Kansas City, I there was no doubt in my mind that that was the place that was going to develop me. Just the way the coaching style and here talking to the players that I knew were already here, I think it just was clear that this is a place that sets the standards really high and focuses on the littlest details and really develops players. And so that was, yeah, it just checks a big box for me. And
For sure.
yeah,
That's awesome. And you mentioned that and kind of that higher standard. They get the Shield last year, um, first in franchise history. What's the atmosphere around this team since you've arrived, and has it changed any since the opener now?
yeah. I mean, since I arrived, it was kind of this feeling of discontent. Even though they had won the Shield, there still was a lot of bitterness, I would say, from not getting everything done that they wanted to last year,
Sure.
and finishing it off. And so I think that was just exciting too to come into a team that's accomplished so much, but still just strive for that 1% of being better and always looking to be better. And so that was really excited. And I think even from the first game, it's coming back from being down was um, obviously not something that we want to do again,
Yeah,
but I think it showed us different things that we can do and how to start fast and little things that we can change for the next game. So it just makes us all that much more excited to go into the next game and kind of implement the different things that we're talking about.
for sure. And you also joined former Nittany Lions and Ellie Bravo Young and Katie Scott here on the team. How has having familiar faces around you been able to help your transition to the professional ranks? Has that kind of played a role too?
Yeah. Before I even got here, I was on the phone with Ellie, just kind of getting her rundown advice from her. And I think just having those familiar faces here it kind of makes you a little bit more comfortable to come into a new environment with just having those few people that you know. And I think it's also like you just mentioned those two, but there's so many other Penn State alums here that
Yeah,
it just, even though they're maybe not, I didn't play with them, they're still familiar faces. And so that's just been nice to kind of just have like that whole little community here of all the alumni. So yeah, it's been great.
that's awesome. All right, we'll move into season at hand. And as you mentioned earlier, you get the big comeback win in Kansas City. Now that you all prepare for 3 games in 7 days, and not to mention all on the road, what's the team's mindset going into that? And do you guys take preparation a little bit differently in a short week like this?
I mean, we're always a team that just focuses on the next thing in front of us and the next game, the next 90 minutes. And so I think it's easy to look at, oh, the 3 games in 1 week. But for us, we're just focusing on one at a time. And I think in between those, it's just really harping on the recovery and the mental sharpness and just making sure that we're able to show up every day. But for now, it's to prepare for Chicago. So,
For
yeah.
sure. For sure. All right, last question. We always end with a fun one. And due to the schedule this next week coming up, NWSL travel schedule pretty much, I mean, it's never a joke. Like you've got a lot of games or you have maybe one every couple weeks or so. But what's one item that you have to have for those long road trips?
I'm gonna have to say my Nido. Do you know what that is? A Nido?
I don't actually.
It's
It
like
sounds familiar.
all of the rookies here are obsessed with Nido. It's not like a slime, but It kind of is like a slime, but it's in like a
Oh,
cube.
Nido.
Neato.
Okay. Yes, I do know that.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
I'm an educator, so kids at school have them everywhere.
yes,
Okay.
everywhere we go, we collect them, take them, and so I think for plane rides, bus rides, that's a must for a long trip.
Okay. Fair
Mhm.
enough. Favorite color of those?
I have a blue one. I want
Hmm.
more. I like there's some that are like multicolored, and that's
Okay, yeah,
for the next find. I want a multicolored one. Hmm.
fair enough. I mean, road trip coming up. I'm sure you can find them at the airport or
Yeah.
bus station, whatever you guys end up doing. Yeah, they're
Yep.
everywhere. That's for sure.
Well, you would think, but they're all sold out here, like
Oh,
in
yeah.
different places. So
Oh,
it
wow.
can be hard to find them.
We'll have to ship you up some from down here because our stores have them all. So,
Well, that's
but
awesome.
well, thanks for coming on and taking time out of your training week and good luck this next week coming up and pray for no injuries and whatnot. So, take care.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Mhm. Great stuff from her. And I mean, this game, it was back and forth until about the 35th minute mark when Milazzo got in it and got it through. And from that point, it was pretty much stalemate, and the Current trailed 1-0 at half, and then not much until about the 52nd minute. And Kansas City came up short twice, but just a few minutes later, in the 56th minute, Croy got in there and got the equalizer. From there, the Current never looked back, and Centnor got her goal that would go on to be the winner. And we also got to see Penelope make her debut in this one and almost get a goal. It was electric, like Amelia said. The atmosphere was discontent. And then in the second half, this game just came back from being down. They showed different things they could do as the team and or as a team, and the use of the back line got to help and learn what to do later. And I feel this next week we're going to see what this team is able to do on a little rest or on little rest and how they can compose themselves. Coach Ramos also stated in his post game last week that even though we saw players rest and new players come in and fill those roles, we won't change our DNA and we will attack and score. And by season's end, we'll be depth and healthy. And I love that mentality. I'm really super excited about this. I love how they're composed. I love how they're confident. And I love everything about this team right now. Even able to come back from adversity, it was amazing to see. And yeah, man, crazy. Fun game. Fun game. Next up, we go on to Sporting Kansas City. They come up with a huge road win, 2-1 at the LA Galaxy. They were able to close out the game last week and gain some much needed points on the road, three at that. Um, it was fun to see the equalizer in the second half that was created, opportunity off a set piece, and I mean it was beautiful. Jovic had a golden chance to add in the 73rd minute, but Garcia yet again set him up inside the area, and just things just didn't happen. So game went on. Sporting doubled the lead in the 74th minute as Johnson made an instant impact out of his debut, and it was a beautiful, beautiful sight to see. Glad that Sporting was able to pull it together, and this team is still building. This team is still doing what they need to do. Um, they see a win earlier this year than they did last year. Last year it came in April against St. Louis City SC with a 2-0 home victory. Um, Glad to see it early. Glad to see it get done. And then on top of that, this week, Sporting acquires 21-year-old central defender Diego Borges, and he's going to come in from Hungary. Um, he signed a 4.5 year deal, MLS contract through 2029 2030 season with a club option in the 2030-31 season. He joins Sporting as a U22 initiative player and will occupy an international spot on the club's roster. And he already has his P1 visa and can join the team immediately. So that is great news. That is beautiful news for the Sporting Kansas City team. this guy's going to come in and make an immediate impact. And this team still has a few spots left, but it's awesome to see. And it's great to see. I'm glad that this team's able to do what they're doing, and they're able to find ways to win now. Just a couple of miscommunications through the first couple matches, but things got better. They held well in this one, and they proved to get the win. So we'll see where Sporting goes here. Hope to have a player on within the next couple weeks, but gonna let them all settle in since everything's new, and super excited to cover them for another season. Super excited to see this though. It's a lot of improvement. A lot of improvement. All right, we'll head into the local sports update, and that's brought to you by Mr. Clark's Barbecue and Catering. If you're looking for some awesome tailgate food for your next party, or you want to host a sporting event, yeah, get on in. High school baseball started up this week. A lot of jamborees and a lot of first games. We'll get all the schedules to you next week for the weekend matchups if there are any. They got some midweek matchups next week as well. So stay tuned to their pages. Next up, we go to college sports, and we're going to talk Missouri State and Texas. I didn't even think I would hear that this year. On the women's basketball side, it's going to be today at 3 p.m. in Austin, Texas. The 31-3 Longhorns are going to take on the red-hot Missouri State Bears. 23-12. Cayman Beckmeyer, 22 points in that opening game to solidify her team's place in the field of 64 or 2, whatever it is. I'm not doing the math right now. Super excited for this. Couldn't go to a better player. Maisha Washington was in there with some good stuff too. We've had both of them on the podcast, and good luck, ladies. We appreciate it. We thank you for coming on the podcast over the last couple seasons just to talk on this, and you guys are putting in the work and the hard work at that. We're really excited to see where y'all go. Over to Missouri Southern, we are going to talk baseball first, and baseball is going to be, I believe, home this week. Yes. So today they've got Fort Hays State University at Warren Turner Field at 1 p.m. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. at Warren Turner Field, and Sunday at 1 p.m. at Warren Turner Field. Weather looks great. It's looking to be beautiful. Get on out there, support your Lions, be ready for this, be loud and proud. And if you don't want to do baseball, your 25-3 softball team for Missouri Southern is going to be at Fort Hays State. They'll be there today for a doubleheader at 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. And then they will also be on the road at the University of Nebraska Kearney Saturday, 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. as well. Beautiful weekend, beautiful weather. Missouri Southern softball will not be back home until April 4th. So be sure to catch that. And over to Pittsburgh State, the softball team there, 26-1. So softball around here is phenomenal right now. They're going to be at Nebraska Kearney tonight, or today, 2 p.m. and then at 4 p.m. Kearney, Nebraska, Dryden Park. And they'll pull the opposite of Missouri Southern, I guess, the rest of the way. They'll take on Fort Hays State University tomorrow at noon and at 2 p.m. in a doubleheader in Hays, Kansas at the Flaherty Family Field. And over to baseball. The softball teams are just killing it right now. Baseball, 23-2 for Pitt State. They will head home, and they'll face Central Oklahoma today at 3 p.m., tomorrow at 2 p.m., and Sunday at 1 p.m. And then for Missouri State, I believe they have a home stretch as well. Let's go ahead and look at the baseball side. 12-7 overall for the baseball team, and they got postponed against Arkansas State. On the 17th, they will play Middle Tennessee at home. Yes, they'll be at Hammonds Field for 3 games this weekend. 6:30 p.m. tonight, 2 p.m. tomorrow, and 1 p.m. on Sunday. They will be home against Oklahoma State on Tuesday as well. And then for softball, believe they are also home. They're 13-13 on the season, and No, they'll be at Delaware. So the men and women on both sides for Missouri Southern, Pitt State, and um, Missouri State, they're all going to just kind of go the opposite of each other. So they'll be at Delaware tonight at 4 p.m. They'll be there tomorrow at 2 p.m. and then Sunday at 11 a.m. They will be in Newark, Delaware. So, all that being said, we've had a great spring break. We're ready for the end, ready to get back to the normal grind. We thank you guys for tuning in once again. We appreciate all of our sponsors. We hope you guys have a great and safe weekend. Thanks for tuning in to the Sports Timeout. Wes Underwood. Catch y'all later and see you next time on the Sports Timeout.